Interference law could get 2 years in prison and a $31,000 fine. While it's passed the Senate and National Assembly, it's not law yet. It's being reviewed by France's highest legal body, the Constitutional Council. This isn't the United States, where the pro-life movement is a major political force. If passed, as many expect, the law will make an already weak anti-abortion movement in France even weaker. The government says it's trying to stop fake news about abortion. Pro-life leaders call it censorship of their views, and they feel like their movement is being strangled. The law targets words and messages that might deter, dissuade, or hinder women from having an abortion.
This law goes pretty far. Since the mere fact of saying the truth could discourage a woman from having an abortion, showing what abortion is technically a deterrent.
American pro-life websites like these would be illegal under the new French law, as would these web pages shown to us on the Jérôme Lejeune Foundation's own website. Opponents of the proposed law appealed to France's Constitutional Council because the law would restrict freedom of speech. While that argument would probably work in the United States, it may not work in France, where pro-life forces lost the abortion debate long ago. France legalized abortion in 1975 and is today one of the most pro-abortion nations in Europe. In France, 96% of Down syndrome babies are aborted. Last year, the French government banned this ad showing smiling, happy Down syndrome children. Lemonet says the government sees abortion as social progress, along with euthanasia, gay rights, and same-sex marriage. The French haven't gone along with all of it. 4 million marched against gay marriage and gay adoption before losing the battle. But there has not been the same outrage over this law, and passage could come soon, making it even harder to protect the unborn in France.
For years, the chemical company Monsanto has fought back against lawsuits claiming the weed killer Roundup can cause cancer. But documents made public by a federal judge could change everything.
Newly released court documents in a federal lawsuit suggest Monsanto planned to ghostwrite a positive report on glyphosate and get experts to back it up. A scientist wrote in an email, "We would be keeping the cost down by us doing the writing, and they would just edit and sign their names." Court documents also reveal conversations between Monsanto executives and an EPA director about a federal glyphosate review. "I doubt EPA and just can kill this," the Monsanto executive wrote, "but it's good to know that they are going to actually make the effort."
The fear is real in New Orleans for trans women like Amani Dupree.
I've been frightened, but not like this before.
Last month, Dupree's close friend China Gibson and Sierra McElveen were murdered within days of each other. A week earlier, Jaquarius Holland was killed in another Louisiana town. All of the victims, trans women of color.
What scares me the most is that people will feel like they can get away with these things and nothing will be done about it.
While the 3 murders here in Louisiana aren't connected, they highlight an alarming trend. 7 trans women have been killed nationwide already this year. Last year, a record 23 were killed, the majority Black and Latino women. Hillary says discrimination often leaves trans women of color without jobs and living in dangerous neighborhoods. Many states, including Louisiana, don't even protect trans people under hate crime laws.
How many more people have to be killed before something is done about it?
Dupree says they are tired, but won't give up their right to live as who they are.
Tonight, 2 guilty pleas linked to the Jerry Sandusky sex abuse scandal. Penn State's former Vice President Gary Schultz and former athletic director Tim Curley pleading guilty to misdemeanor charges of endangering the welfare of children, both accused of helping cover up a claim of abuse against Sandusky. They face up to 5 years in prison.
Former President Barack Obama's half-brother Malik has released a Kenyan birth certificate, possibly proving that Obama was the deceiver-in-chief for 8 long years. The lamestream media has quickly denounced the document as a forgery. Yet, when a real forgery was front and center, the Mockingbird Press quickly covered Obama's tracks. What is the motive behind Malik Obama's unveiling of his half-brother's fraud?
Tell me about your relationship with your brother. How is it?
It used to be good, but I think since he's become the president, He's changed.
You think the office has changed him?
Has changed him. I think he's been sucked into that matrix.
Yeah.
And mesmerized by the power.
This could also be yet another carefully constructed landmine for President Trump. As the Russian collusion has proven false, this distraction could hinder the remarkable job President Trump has already done in just 50 days to improve consumer confidence and decrease unemployment. But if the Kenyan birth certificate is miraculously verified, as his Hawaiian birth certificate has already been verified as a fraud by 2 document experts, President Barack Obama's impersonation of a United States citizen in order to run for president would be easily subject to violating 18 U.S. Code 912. Of course, Obama's crime is unprecedented. The treaties, the toppling of Libya and Egypt, the unconstitutional targeting of U.S. citizens in the National Defense Authorization Acts. In fact, the number of times Obama threatened the Constitution is too numerous for this report. With or without Barack Obama's Kenyan birth certificate, Obama's Hawaiian birth certificate has already been proven a forgery. If the Kenyan document is verified as real, Obama and his hordes of anti-American leftist, social justice warrior, communist sympathizers